How the Earth will look with the current international borders in 250 million years. This is what we get to expect. This is how World War 70 will play out. 70 million. I mean, I'm sure there's gonna be like a lot by then. Basically, Australia is gonna be a whole lot thicker. That's the first thing I'm noticing. Also, New Zealand becomes a giant booger? Blue burger? Not a burger. United Pacific States. What is that? United Pacific States. The Philippines? Oh, is that Hawaii? I don't even know. Ew, Indonesia. Every place is kind of gross. Antarctica is not going to be so cold anymore. Like how, for the most part, South America is still looking great. Africa crushes Europe. Europe's going to be like pretty much just a wasteland, I think. It's going to be all frozen up here. US looks normal, although like California starts to become an island again, right? This is the most cursed map. I didn't think I'd ever see anything this cursed before. So there's going to be a massive like inland Indian Sea, basically. It's actually not completely, there is gonna be like a way out. So like this whole world's gonna have this inland sea to work with. Well, maybe, you know, if humans don't get it together, we'll get it together in 250 million years, I think. We'll all be much better connected. The Atlantic Sea turns into a lake, or that's just a sea. The Atlantic Ocean turns into a sea, I see. There is no Mediterranean anymore. That's dunzo. Lake Mexico, yeah! Honestly, this world looks so much better than what we got. Can I live here? Can I just freeze myself? Come back? I want to come back for this Atlantic Sea. Wow, I like how even the cities are marked off. We've got Phoenix, Miami, Chicago. I guess Russia loses a little piece of itself, and then it kind of floats to the other side of the map. It just, I don't know, it becomes its own little island thing. Pretty much the entire world would be landlocked almost. Like, what, 80% of every country? 90% of countries landlocked? No naval anything. Didn't even realize these two are now neighbors. That'd be a fun time. They seem like they would go hand in hand. Now, I knew this before, but it's cool to actually see it broken down. France's longest border is with Brazil. And to see it actually broken down, and it's because of like, it's mainly because of this like small nation right here, right? Only, what is this? Okay, this is in kilometers. 659 with Belgium. You got Luxembourg. 448 with Germany. I don't know why, like, I think instinctually I would think it's Germany for some reason. Technically, out of all of their eastern neighbors, sorry, it's Belgium. And then it's the Swiss. Southern neighbors, it's Spain, so Spain would be second place. But here it is, 730 kilometers, and it's because of their South American territory. Oh yeah, I forgot about this island too, that's a thing. Yeah, that island. I knew that. This is how we should draw every map. Who cares about Great Britain being in the center? I want New Zealand in the center from now on. The projection of Africa is so, ugh. It do be looking like it got a dump truck though, look at that. That's nice. So we got the big old Mars volcano overlaid France with France. And that is, I guess, I didn't even know. I don't know anything about Mars, so that is informative. I'm being educated right now. This is good. The largest volcano in the solar system. That would be a scary time to drive through. We actually might have our first volcano nation, if you think about it. As soon as Elon takes us up there, start colonizing it, we'll make like borders and stuff like that. It'll be the volcano people, the fire nation, and they're probably gonna attack first. Number of Roman theaters and amphitheaters per country. I don't know why I've never thought of it. Like I never ever knew this information. So here they are looking all glorious. This is what they look like. So the most are in France. Oh, wait, well, I'm so stupid. I don't know how I missed that. Obviously, the most are in Italy. Sorry, take that back. Second most, they were building in the Gallic region. Got a lot in Turkey. Got a lot here in Tunisia. They built one all the way out here in Morocco. Oh, they got some, I didn't know they had some in these islands. What were they doing out here in these islands? That's red too. Is that real? They had that many out here? They got 2 in Scotland, but only 1 in the Netherlands? Come on now. I guess the same could be said for like Serbia. I guess this is supposedly both existing and formerly existing amphitheaters. They might not all exist still to this day. Dang, the one theater in Malta was destroyed all the way back in 870 AD. I can't go to Morocco to see the only one. It might not be there. Were they logging this information? Did they have documents on this? I would like to know how we knew about this. Population distribution of China in units of USAs. We can't even, oh, this is 100 million. I was like, whoa, that seems like a lot. The USA has 300 million, right? 325, something like that. Pretty much most of China's living on this coastline right here. That's a lot of USAs. Kind of scary. Now, where's the deep south version of China? Where's the hillbillies of China? That's where I want to know, coming from a Alabamian person. You guys got incest over there? Of course, that's what I'm wondering. That's what I want to know. The difference between Constantinople, the city of Istanbul, and Istanbul. I never wondered this in my entire life, but this is informative. This is Constantinople. It was just right here. I didn't even think it was there. I thought it was more like on the Black Sea. Historically referred to as Constantinople. Okay. Then there's the city of Istanbul. There's Istanbul, which is, what, is that like a region? A county or something? And then the rest of Turkey, this is Turkey. The Istanbul province. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. I was kind of confused about that. There was only a little bit of a difference between Byzantium's Constantinople, something smaller maybe. This is a 19th century map from the Ottomans. This is what the Ottomans knew of the Western Hemisphere at the time. Considering they weren't really known for doing a whole lot of stuff navally, this is pretty good. Were they like trading for this information? Were they like stealing Portuguese explorers, forcing them to draw maps or something? Were they sharing maps? I think more maybe sharing maps. Yo, the Ottomans had this down, looking pretty good. They knew about Texas? It's kind of crazy to think of Ottomans knowing about Texas. You tell Canada's a little messy, but it's weird. A lot of islands. Yeah, this is actually really detailed. I like this. Oh, and this little dirt right here, little dirt. It's a part of the globe too, right? Sand from the Sahara and places as far as Iraq frequently reaches the Americans. That's crazy. I knew that the Sahara Desert, I've heard like this is how like hurricanes form, right? I didn't know all the way from the Middle East though. That's crazy. Well, hurricanes aren't formed by sand, but something, winds, storms, evaporations, I don't know. Percentage of people who live in the metropolitan area of the capital city of each country in Europe. I figured it'd mostly be in France and the UK. Whoa, Ireland! So everyone's just in Dublin in Ireland. Is that why like everything's all like green and beautiful? You just keep all your people compacted? Iceland is actually the most. I almost missed that. 64. Well, that's because there's a huge volcano on the island, right? I don't know. I just wouldn't want to be next to the volcano. It's actually a little interesting to see the places that have like the lowest value. So Germany, no one's really in the capital of Germany. I think it's because they have a lot of population and it's just spread out in general. Oh, Swiss is actually the lowest. I'm sorry, Swiss. That's actually really weird because most of Switzerland is like the Alps. You wouldn't think they're that spread out because there's just huge mountain range like in their entire country. Oh my, I almost missed Malta at 82%. That's not even fair. It's just a fucking island. How does that count? How does that count? Luxembourg too. Luxembourg's super tiny. Luxembourg only has a capital city. They don't have any other cities, do they? Maybe like 2 or 3, right? Would Monaco be at 100%? This place too? That's like, they're just at 100%. Vatican City, San Marino, Liechtenstein. Okay, I'll stop. I really don't know why I would care, but I am kind of interested. Fonts used by U.S. Courts of Appeals in opinions. So it's only like Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi using that old century school book font. What the hell is that? What even is that? Okay, Courier, I get that. I like that. They always taught me to use Times New Roman in California. Is this the reason why? Because the U.S. Courts of Appeals? What the hell kind of font is that? What you guys using? In New York, Wisconsin? What font is that? I like Courier, to be honest. Century school book, though. You guys are just making shit up, aren't you? Come on, Texas. No Comic Sans? This is ridiculous. Google Earth if it was the year 1600. Now that is what I want to see. I want to see something more like this. Can we go back in time? I grew up in the wrong generation. Pheasant Island? Is that how you say that? The island that switches sovereignty between France and Spain every 6 months. Oh man, I don't think I can live out there. How cool would that be? You get to be a French and Spanish citizen, but only when they have control. You got to switch back and you got to revoke your other citizenship. It's that time of year again where I gotta surrender. low hanging fruit joke there, but you know. Border changes of Poland before and after. Just, they kind of scooted over a little bit. A little scoot. It's all good. I like it. I like it. Scooted inward. Migrating Poland. I love it. I feel like we're watching like a nature documentary. Sometimes Poland goes into hibernation for several years. I wish I could talk with a better accent. The deforestation of Indiana. This is 1820 versus 2001. Very big difference. We just like logged the shit out of this place. I didn't even know that Indiana had that much forest. Well, that's because it doesn't anymore, I guess. Obviously. The Arctic Circle crosses Iceland only on a little island. And I didn't even know they had this little island. It doesn't even usually get like shown up in a lot of maps that I see. That's crazy. Mother tongue in Finland by mother tongue. What does this even mean? What is mother tongue? Okay. Mostly Finnish, but there's Swedish. There's Swedish next to Sweden, which Sweden is like right here. It seems understandable. I guess it's just like what your family like language is. I've seen this before. As someone that wants to move out of California, this is terrifying because some of the places I wanted to go to are kind of high on this list. Why is this so like terrible quality? Jeez, this is so bad. Kind of wanted to move to Vegas, and this is making me terrified. This is one of the highest states people want to leave. Actually, Illinois is. Maybe because of Chicago. Nobody wants to leave Texas. That's an interesting sign up there. I don't know if I can survive in Texas, though. Nobody wants to leave Oregon, too. No sales tax. They must like it. There's got to be several reasons for this, though, right? Nobody wants to leave Hawaii, though. That's the rare gem. It's too beautiful. I love this. It is insane to see how massive the former Portuguese colonies were. We've got Portugal, and then all the things Portugal colonized compared to the rest of Europe. So they colonized almost all of Europe in a way, in terms of at least territory-wise. That is really cool. Well, where's Brazil at? This isn't even including Brazil. That's the crazy part. This was like their, what, like 1940s territory? The British version. Yeah, you can't even do the British version. They colonized the world. Scandinavian Wait a second, this is not Scandinavian, this is Nordic. Oh, you know, all those comments are blasting him for that. Nordic road map or Scandinavian plus Finland. So Finland's got a lot of roads. Denmark has a lot of roads. Sweden kind of does, but then they kind of give up in the northern part of Sweden. Norway doesn't have a lot of roads, and that's because there is a giant ass mountain range right here. What is up with that? Pretty much made an exact video of this. Seems like a fun time. This is what they thought, right? This is what Christopher Columbus thought. Looks good. It seems realistic, honestly. Just passing on through to India. Territories where at least one Turic language has an official status. I didn't even really know about this. They even got like some in China too, I guess. And all the way up here in Siberia. I've never thought about the different housing types in South Asia. Never crossed my mind, and that is why this is interesting. Dude, that just looks like a California home. I love these houses. Obviously, the architecture changes drastically as you move further up north. Still looks kind of nice, though. I like it. But yeah, I just really want that palm tree house right there. The best farmland in the United States, and it is mostly right here. Didn't even think about that. I thought we were doing farms everywhere. Well, actually, no, I knew that Iowa was like farmland, Nebraska, Kansas. That makes sense. A lot along this river here. We got some farmland in California. Can't farm in Maine? There's no farming in Maine? Popularity of Reddit in each country. So it is very popular in the US. It's within the top 30 websites in North America. Well, not Mexico. Mexico doesn't care. India really likes it. And so does South Korea. Whoa, I did not think about that. And the Philippines? I thought it'd be really straightforward. Like Reddit would be liked by, I don't know, just English speaking countries, I guess. Romania, Bulgaria also like it. Sweden, Denmark. Sweden's got a huge subreddit. That makes sense. Italy doesn't like Reddit. Italy and Poland, at least compared to their neighbors. A straight line between the westernmost and easternmost points of Russia passes through no Russian... Oh, that's right, because they have this little territory in Europe. It's random territory. It's not connected to the rest of the stuff. Ah, globes. As if those were real. Earth's flat. Back in those old days when you were looking at old pictures, really dirty pictures, and you're waiting for it to load. Oh yeah, come on, keep going. Holy crap, this is a massive image. Okay, I guess I get it now. So these are like all the fairy tales in Germany. These are German fairy tales and they're different locations, I guess. I don't know if I've heard of any of these. I'm sure I've heard of some of these fairy tales, actually. Did they all come from Germany? All these fairy tales? I mean, all the popular ones? It's actually the places where fairy tales take place. The Pied Piper, the Red Riding Hood, Snow White, Hansel and Gretel. Wow, that's crazy. You guys be making up a lot of stories over there, Germany. The original range of the bison. These things were moving far. They moved way up north and all the way down to Mexico. The second most common mother tongue in Canada by province. I had no idea it would be this diverse. Punjabi and British Columbia. Whoa. Obviously, I knew the French was going to be there. I mean, the French leads in Quebec, right? That's why, yeah, it must, because English, that's why English is number 2. That's why English is showing up in Quebec, I see. But I didn't realize that there was so much French being spoken in Ontario, Nova Scotia, Newfoundland. A lot of Filipino. It's not Filipino, though. It's Tagalog, right? Tagalog. And then are these like more... I don't know what these other languages are. I've seen the USA version of that, but I didn't think the Canada version would be that interesting. Kind of crazy to not see Spanish. They have no Spanish up here. This is so informative. I don't even want to dig into it. This is the destinations from different train stations in London, or of London. Here are the most popular television series between 1951 and 2019. Of course, it's I Love Lucy. Just waiting for my favorite. Twilight Zone should be coming up in the 1960s, right? Disneyland? What the hell is Disneyland? That's a TV show? Gunsmoke. I've never even heard of that. The Price is Right. Yeah. Wow, I guess Twilight Zone wasn't that popular at the time. Batman was. I see Batman popped up, 1960s version. 60 minutes. People cared about 60 minutes? Oh, damn. Yes, they did. Dukes of Hazzard, MASH. Oh, yeah, MASH. Watch MASH. Oh, Cosby Show. Well, that's awkward. Roseanne. ER. What's his name? Batman. Oh, Survivor. That's right. Survivor was huge. Dang, American Idol. No wonder they just kept going and going. I was over it. NCIS. It was just a tie. It was a tie for a while. Walking Dead. Roseanne. Boom, boom. Richest person in each state. And I don't know who any of these people are, which is weird. It's weird that I think a lot of people wouldn't know who these people are. No Jeff Bezos, no Warren Buffett, no Bloomberg. There's a lot of people on here that kind of odd how just nobody knows. I don't really know who they are. What percent of content are ads? Facebook is putting the most ads in all the social media sites. 28% of Facebook is just ads. And then of course the other thing they own, Instagram, bunch of ads, and they're stealing a bunch of your data. Reddit doesn't have that many ads. Interesting. Well, it's because they went from like almost 0 and then 6 not that long ago. I actually would thought YouTube would be a lot more than 18%. The world's oldest companies. I don't even know what these companies are. Oh, they're all Japanese. That's why. Dang. I actually don't really even know any of these companies. Interesting. Here's another map that kind of goes with the thing I was talking about before. Most popular states for people leaving California. That is so weird. Are these fools following me? Basically, it's Washington, Nevada, Texas, or Florida for me. Nobody from California moves to Wyoming. Poor Wyoming. Or West Virginia. The lack of John Denver fans is disappointing. Disappointing. This is the falling fertility all around the world. Dang, it just drops. Oh, dang, that's crazy. It's kind of like bouncing around right at the turn of the century. It goes perfectly down. Wow, that's crazy. Couple places going slightly up. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. See you next time.
And big thanks to the Patreon supporters. Knock knock. Who's there? Make a who? Make a Discord snowflake. Imagine carrying a baby for 9 months. Just to name him Drew. Worried Giglet. Deezer123. Mike. Stormtrooper 501. Mac. LuxembourgLover. RalseiTree. Bend over. Some guy from Iceland. Joe Dover. Splendid Savage. Popcorn 2008. DOOCHBAGGINS. Smacker 3000. I'm the real 06. Aryanafterhours. Pelovski. Riley. Mayonnaise Incorporated. SethA. Ballinlikestalin. Pelovski. Maxy G. Senpai. And Elphie C.